Okay.
Okay. We're recording. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Psych Opinion. Jake, and I got that weird shit going on inside again, and I don't know what it is, but last time I saw it, you heard me. I usually like to start off with something weird or interesting, but I actually have nothing today. There's like really no good headlines in the news, and I mean, is there still people getting killed in Goldsboro?
I think that has kind of stopped, but there was a lot of people getting killed there.
Okay.
I should ask my mom. I should ask my mom. Yeah.
I'll ask her when I see her. Oh. The killings in Goldsboro have stopped. Welcome to Psych Opinion.
Well, I mean, maybe. I mean, I don't
know. I mean, I'm fucking I want something to say. All right. So we're back again, and we are doing another TOPicLESS episode. So pretty much we're just kind of going off the cuff here. Things we've thought about, things that have been going on, things we've seen. I did want to continue. I just wanted to start off with something we ended with last week, and that's that I finished Baghead. And I really fucking enjoyed it. I liked it a lot. I thought it was a really interesting idea. I liked the way that they did the whole thing. I mean, I even thought the ending was solid. Steve, you saw it, didn't you?
I got halfway through it.
Oh, fuck. Here we go again.
Yeah. Well, hey, I got halfway through it because I lost interest in it.
What?
I did. It was okay, but I saw it really. It was okay. I mean, a lot of people are comparing it to Talk to Meh, is what I saw.
Talk to Meh, like so, Talk to Me, but it's Talk to Meh.
Mm-hmm. Talk to Meh. I mean, it had its own shine to it, but I was
fucking good. It was good.
I was watching it with Elizabeth. I got through after the first real experience of Baghead turning into that guy's mom and vomiting all over him, and then him being completely dry and clean afterwards was nice. And she vomited like 2 gallons of gunk all over his face and shirt, and then he gets up and he's ready for.
That would have never fucking happened if Jen was working with the makeup crew there, because she would have been like, more slime.
More slime.
Everything would have been covered in slime.
Yeah.
So if
I ever make a movie and need a slime person, I'm hiring Jen. Straight up.
Make it goopy.
Or glitter. Lots of glitter.
Oh yeah, the glitter.
No glitter, just slime.
They're not mutually exclusive. You can have both.
Ooh,
Jake's got his own glitter.
Yeah.
I do like goo more than I like glitter. Just saying.
We're going with goo.
I don't actually care that much for glitter. Only in a few movies.
Glitter sucks. The only time glitter is good is like strip clubs.
Oh.
Anyway, I thought Baghead was solid. I'm gonna give that motherfucker like probably a good 6, almost 7, like 6.74.
Is this a ice skating competition, or where's the threshold? Is it 10?
Yeah, it's 10.
So you gave it a 2/3 of the way. Okay, all right.
Well, yeah, because fucking honestly, like there's a lot of movies out there, and I mean, there's a lot of movies I like a lot more. But I mean, for me, anything above a 6 is fucking gold. I mean, that's where I said I'm pretty critical. I mean, if you haven't watched the show, there's a lot of movies I can't fucking stand. I've never seen Silent Hill. Maybe that sets the bar. I guess I'm just fucked up that way.
I think they're making a new Silent Hill with Michael C. Hall, so you'll enjoy that one.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
I like Michael. He's from North Carolina.
That guy sucks. He's so fucking.
I didn't realize. So he's got a band called, is it Princess?
My voice is
something?
really annoying, and nobody wants to hear me anymore.
Band?
I like him.
Yeah, he's singing in a band, and it's like Princess something. And they're playing in a couple weeks here in Raleigh, and I was like, well, maybe I'll go check it out because I love Dexter. And I listened to one of those songs, and I was like, what the hell?
Is it bad?
Probably will pass on that. It's just not
pretty bad.
It's not great. It's not great.
He was in 6 Feet Under too.
He was really. He's got a really annoying fucking monotone voice, and I can't imagine he sings in a band. Like, I wish the guy would just shut the fuck up.
I think he has an annoying voice. I can think of a million.
I think he did a TV series. I want to say it was called Safe, where his daughter's kidnapped.
Yes.
Yeah, was
And
that
he has like an
Liza?
English
Was that
accent
called?
or something.
Yeah, he definitely had a different accent in that one.
Yeah,
It
I
was
think he was
kind
like
of
in
threw me
England
for a
or
loop.
something.
Oh Jesus, he does accents too with his boring, annoying, fucking monotone voice. He's just the man. The fucking. I don't even know what to fucking say. I'm just done with it. Baghead was good. Anyway, so I'm ready to discuss. If we want to just kick off that old business, I'm ready to discuss Midnight with the Devil as well.
Late Night with the Devil?
Is it late night? Midnight?
Late Night?
Oh, is that the one you
Midnight?
watched?
I haven't even
fuck,
seen
I saw
it.
the wrong one.
I haven't
Shit.
seen it either.
Are you serious? You did?
I
You
literally
saw the
just
wrong
said
one?
last week to Rob, at least, that I was going to watch it so we could talk about it this week.
I remember you
said
saying
something about
that.
autocorrect. You said something about autocorrect.
Oh, it was Midnight with the Dentist.
That's right.
Autocorrect put dentist instead of devil, so I was wrong anyway, because apparently it's late night. I saw
It's late
It was
night,
right. Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
the fuck the thing is on Shudder. I saw it.
Usually
Okay,
you
yeah.
need to pay
Those on
more for
Shudder.
midnight at the dentist, but you can't stream that for free.
Time and a half.
I don't think there's anything good that would come from that.
No, there's absolutely nothing that would come from being with your dentist at midnight, unless it's like a hot dentist, and you're not.
Well, let's assume we watched the same late night. What did you think of that one? Was it Baghead worthy?
I thought it was worse than Baghead.
What, Late Night with the
Worse.
Devil?
It was worse
Oh,
than
wow.
it was worse than Baghead.
Okay.
So-
I heard
Well,
that-
Baghead was good, and I'm not saying Late Night with the Devil wasn't good, but it just wasn't great. I don't know. Maybe I'm with
I
Steve.
agree.
With my expectations were too high.
Yeah.
I hated the
was how
fucking
it
end.
was for me.
Actually, I don't know how you guys
Mm.
felt about the end. I thought the end sucked.
Hated it. It slides right in line with the way I feel about these modern horror movies. How they just
Mhm.
cut the film.
It's too
I mean, they
quick,
just
yeah.
come up.
Too quick.
What was the movie? An hour and a half. So they
I
give or
believe,
take.
yeah.
So they spend all that time and all that energy. Who knows? They made out of 5 hours of filming that they condensed down to an hour and a half, and then you take a crap and don't flush it afterwards. I mean, that's
That
how the
sounds
ending
terrible.
was.
Now, I mean, if it helps at all, I will say I liked it 3/4 of the way through.
Mhm.
Like I really thought they did a great job with dating it. Like it really felt like an older TV show set. Like
Yeah,
the colors
yeah.
and the clothes everybody was wearing and everything, the hairstyles. I really
Mhm.
thought they were very authentic to what they were trying to do.
Mhm.
I thought the intro was really good and interesting, even though I thought it was very predictable that they're setting up a whole thing with the wife in the very
Yeah.
beginning. Because why would they go into that much story if they weren't going to bring her back as a ghost or spirit or demon or whatever the fuck? But they lost me at about the probably at about the hour and 10 mark, maybe. I don't know, somewhere around there. I just was like, this is starting to fucking jump the shark and go downhill quick.
Mm. Yeah.
What do you think, Rob?
that
Did you see it?
Oh, go
I
ahead.
have not seen it.
No.
But I will
Yeah.
ask Jen. I've heard a lot of bad things about the ending. How would you relate it to the ending of Beyond the Black Rainbow? Is it just cut and chop?
No, there's a little bit more to it than Beyond the Rainbow. But I mean, I agree with Jake and Steve. The ending, they could have done the ending like so much better, so much longer. It was just like the last 10 minutes of it. It was just like boom, boom, boom. But I mean, I did like when the girl's head like splits open. I did like that part a lot. It was almost cosmic horror-ish, just that part. And then the whole like reality bending, like a little bit later, towards the very, very end, was kind of cool. But I feel like I needed more. I wanted more afterwards. I felt unsatisfied. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've
and
heard that universally from people
Have
who've been
you?
watching it.
You've been
I've heard like one or
that feel
two things
unsatisfied.
that people have been enjoying it, but the ending was just not it for
yeah.
90% of the people I've talked to about it.
Mm.
I
And
mean,
it
I
was
feel
so
like,
you.
I mean, the ending was just him with his wife at her bedside, and that's what did that take? 2.5 minutes of dialogue?
Yeah,
I
it was
mean,
pretty quick.
it was just like at that point in time, I'm thinking like, okay, well, where are they taking this now? And then next thing you know, he's stabbed the girl and it's over. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, like I don't know. It did not hit the mark for me, and
Yeah.
it was one that I was super excited to see. It was enjoyable. I probably won't watch it again. But kind of like my
Right.
grandmother used to
Same.
say, as she's eating food that you just bought her, he's like, oh, how's that? It's good. I'd never get it again. But it's kind of her way of saying that it's,
It's
It's not
edible
cutting it.
and I'm eating it.
yeah, that's it.
It's like a bunch of chocolate nuts. You sucked all the chocolate
Christ,
off.
not again. Fuck, nobody gets the reference, and I'm not going to explain that story.
Okay.
It takes too long.
I did
it's-
think it was cool, like when the girl is like looking at the camera and it's kind of creepy and unsettling. The possessed girl. I did think that was pretty well done and kind of cool. But
Oh,
I
that
think in the
sounds cool.
beginning, the very beginning, I think they told like too much too fast. It just felt really like rushed. Like in the beginning, it felt rushed, and then at the end, it felt really rushed. And then I did like the hypnotism scene. That was kind of cool. But yeah, like I said, it felt like I needed more. I felt unsatisfied.
The hypnotism scene was cool. I'll give you that.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that for sure.
I feel like that is like a ongoing thing with new horror movies is that it just it does like it's like almost like they have such a great idea but they just can't follow through with it.
Yeah.
No, like Rob said, he leaves them unsatisfied.
Do you think that it's
What I heard.
because so many people hate endings of stuff now because they don't, even if it does have like an ending, like so many people hate it, so they're so afraid to like actually have like an ending? Because it would be better to be like, oh, that was unsatisfying than, oh, that was a really bad ending.
Well, I feel like the unfinished endings, like, ooh, leaving it up to watcher interpretation, is being used way too much. And I feel like people are just getting bored or upset with it.
Feels fucking lazy.
That style. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So instead of having a bad ending, having an improper ending, I feel like that's worse. It's overused. Like for the past few decades, I feel like movies haven't been ending properly. Probably since like Blair Witch, where it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? This is like they just kind of stumbled into where it was getting good, and then the movie ends. So I feel like because that was such a success, maybe it kind of started there, going outward, where studios were just creating an ending that is, as I said, open to viewer interpretation. I don't like that.
Yeah, I don't either.
Like I said in the last show, it's like the Walmart self-checkout lane of fucking movies.
Yeah, but it's like that movie
That's
that we're
apt.
really. But the movie that you were talking about, Steven, was that Long Leg movie. I'm pretty excited about that.
Long
Yeah,
legs.
I am too.
Long Legged.
I want to see that.
Long legs.
Long legs. Yeah.
Long legs.
What did you say? You said Longwood?
I said Long Legs.
You said like Longwood. I'm sitting right next to you. You said Longwood. Did you say
I
Longwood?
think she did.
No?
You heard what you wanted to hear.
Longwood.
It was long legs.
Yeah, whatever. I'll take either.
Jake,
But
you got some long legs there. Oh, do I?
I mean, I watched Midnight with the Devil and hearing about Longwood. So.
But I
That's
really
true.
hope that that's not going to be one that's going to be so hyped up and it's like so kind of like you don't really know too much about it and we haven't even seen.
I feel like you have some control of being too hyped up, though. 'Cause I feel like I try to avoid hype if I'm really excited about something.
Yeah.
Like, so then that way I can kind of go into a little bit fresh. I mean, I'm not saying I avoid it all, but I try to tone it down.
Yeah.
I've had to hype
The-
myself down before seeing
Yeah.
movies. Like
So this is gonna suck.
the next upcoming movie I'm super excited for is the Mad Max prequel movie Furiosa.
Furiosa.
Oh yeah.
Later this month, I'm super excited for it. The new Mad Max Fury Road, one of my
I thought you were
favorite
going to
movies.
say Alien.
I am very excited for that too. But
I
this
just
one's
looked-
happening like within the next month. I'm super
I just
excited.
looked up Furiosa, and it looks like Charlize Theron's not in it.
Correct. It's a
Anya
prequel, so it's
Taylor-Joy.
past
Tom Hardy.
how
gonna
she
be in
ended
it?
up.
Yeah.
No, actually, Tom Hardy.
But they
is
have,
not.
but they have Homeboy in
Hemsworth.
It.
Chris Hemsworth is, I guess, the bad guy.
Nope. They have what's his name in it? Tom Hardy.
I mean,
They might,
maybe at
but
the
I've
end.
seen
Is Tom
ads
Hardy
for
gonna
it.
be If Tom Hardy's gonna be,
He was in the credits when I looked it up last night.
I would watch him. Like,
Maybe a
eating
scene at the
lettuce.
What?
They're doing a ton. They're doing a ton of ads for it, and every ad's got Taylor Joy and Chris Hemsworth in it. So I think they're the meat and potatoes of the movie.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that the credits had him, but not her. And I don't know how much of a role he plays in it, but he was the first. When you look on IMDb or no, when you Google it and you bring up cast, he's the first one you see.
Huh.
So usually they're a pretty big role. So I don't know. I just couldn't understand how he could be in it, but she's not if it's a prequel. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I've heard that if it does well, they have plans for at least 2 more. So a prequel of Tom Hardy's character, Max, is, I guess, the next one lined up, and it all depends on how Furiosa does. So
I'm gonna put.
I just kind of sorry. I just kind of assumed that Anya Taylor-Joy was going to play a younger version of Charlize Theron.
she does.
don't know.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they look so much alike.
Oh, so probably that's why she's not in it then.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
never mind. You don't understand my point. Anyway.
Okay.
This one, hold on. This one goes to Jen because she might be the only one, and maybe Liza would know. So I was scrolling through to watch something the other night before I watched the roast of Tom Brady, which was a lot. And I didn't realize, and this is based off of Charlize Theron and Chris Hemsworth, they did a second Huntsman movie. Remember?
Oh, yeah.
Remember? I didn't know.
Yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I know it exists. Yes.
Never heard of it.
I had no idea because I know they did the first one.
Yeah.
And I was taken back by how awesome Kristen Stewart was in that one.
Oh,
It was better than
Fantastic
usual.
actress.
Who?
Yeah, no, Kristen Stewart. She's the dumpster fire in every movie I've ever seen. her.
I was like, I thought you were fucking serious for a second. I was like,
Yeah.
now I'm fucking hallucinating this episode because I'm hearing shit.
But
I'm a huge Twilight fan, and even I don't like Kristen Stewart.
She is a terrible.
Yeah, I'm not a fan.
How did they pick her? Like, how did she? Where'd she come from? I guess maybe.
I think it's because Bella's supposed to be very like normal and kind of.
She's supposed to be terrible at acting and annoying.
Well, no, she's kind of like supposed to be clumsy and like kind of like every girl, and so.
I know a lot of girls, and they're not nearly as annoying as her. I wouldn't have picked her as the every girl.
Yeah, well.
Yeah,
I think Rob would have been a better choice.
No, that was kind of like a movie trope there for a long while. Like the whole like clumsy girl, that happened I think in 50 Shades of Grey as well, which was also a terrible movie, and I never saw the sequels.
Well, that is actually a fanfic of Twilight.
Yeah. Is it
50 Shades? Yeah, 50 Shades of Grey was it's
not
like
know
the
that.
more realistic version of Twilight, but it is actually a fan fiction. But
Was inspired by.
yeah.
Oh.
If that guy was
Okay.
poor, it would have been a totally different story. Just saying.
Hey, baby, you want to see my sex dungeon?
If he was poor, he would have been like charged with rape 10 minutes into the first movie.
But you are right.
Didn't
She
they,
is like kind of like the
do a written
clumsy,
agreement?
Like,
Yeah,
It's
yeah, the
Days of
clumsiness.
litigation.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of tired of seeing that. I'm kind of tired of seeing that trope because they do that. They've done that a lot for a long time now, especially around that time period with 50 Shades of Grey and Twilight and all that. That whole like clumsy girl. I mean, I'm a clumsy girl. I should be like, oh, I relate, but really, I'm just kind of sick of it. Yeah.
Wasn't did anybody else see The Secretary back in the day with
Yes.
Gyllenhaal?
Yes. James
Maggie
Spader.
Gyllenhaal. And James Spader. And wasn't that kind of like the 50 Shades of Grey thing? He was her boss. He had her like riding around with a fucking saddle on her or some
A
shit.
little bit. Yeah.
But it was better because it was James Spader.
That's how I feel.
well, Jamie Dornan
Yeah.
isn't that bad.
I don't know who the fuck that is.
Man, James Spader is like my kryptonite.
Wow.
I mean, he does play a douche a lot of the time, but I do like him.
There's so many girls that said that his character in The Office like oddly made them like turned on, even though he was like weird as fuck.
Nah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Who's got something else? Jen, did you have notes? Because I know last time I kind of stole the show. I wanted to give you a chance to. Did you have something you wanted to
Yeah.
discuss?
Yeah, I have some notes. Let's talk about Men.
Men, fuck, I know a lot about them.
The
I happen
movie
to be one.
Men. Yeah.
Oh, like a
Has
movie.
yeah,
Okay.
the movie.
I thought we were just
The
talking
movie
about
Men.
men. I was like, okay, let's just talk about men. Fuck it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Would you
All right,
choose the
Mrs.
man or the
Doubtfire,
bear?
settle down.
I knew a lot about that topic, Steven.
Yeah.
I've been one for
I don't do
41
the
years.
boys because I used to be one.
That's great.
Has anyone seen the movie Men?
Nope.
I have.
I was told by my
Yeah.
daughter to pass, hard pass on that, so I don't know what that
yeah.
means.
Oh, okay. Well, she's
Yeah.
she's like the
well,
expert, so.
this movie is definitely like a love it or hate it kind of movie.
can
I
see
can
that.
see that. I can definitely see that. I'm also kind of an analytical person, so I tried to delve deeper into it. Also, I could kind of relate to it a little bit, and I don't know if I want to go into that too much, but anyway, yeah, let's talk about Men. So it was done in 2022, so not that long ago. It is a psychological / body horror / folk horror film. So there is a lot going on in this movie. It does start off a little bit slow. In some
That's why
parts
Rob
of the
watched
beginning.
it. Fuck, I
Yeah,
figured it
imagine
out.
that.
I
I
mean,
am actually the
oh,
only person
I
I
like
know
it
who
too.
enjoys that movie.
Wrong.
You did
because
enjoy it?
I do. Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
Now
shit.
there's two. Now
Yeah.
there's two.
And then there was two.
Yeah. But yeah, I can totally see why other people might not like this movie, and that's fine. Like, they can have their opinions. We can have ours. Me and Rob. So it is directed by Alex Garland, who did Annihilation and Ex Machina, two fantastic
Okay,
films.
those
I didn't
Yeah.
even realize it
Natalie
was
Portman.
the same director. That's awesome.
Oh, you didn't know that?
I had no idea. No.
Holy shit.
It was
Okay.
like the newest A24 studio movie, and I was like, "Well, I'll see it, and I loved it.
Yeah.
That's right. You're like a A24.
A24 pimps out some movies, man. They've
Yeah,
got
no,
a ton
that's
of
Yeah, they
movies.
do.
where this one came from, and I don't
Yeah.
know. Usually they hit home, they make solid gold for me, and this one was
Mhm.
no exception. It was fun for me.
Annihilation.
that was my big
Natalie
pull to
Portman,
it.
right?
Yes.
Yeah, and Oscar Isaac.
Yeah, that
Yes.
was pretty good. Yeah. Oh
with the
yes.
Yeah.
fucking bear
Yeah.
scene.
Yeah,
Oh,
the bear
bear.
scene, the most memorable scene of the whole movie.
oh.
Yeah.
I'm still getting heebie-jeebies over here. That scene hurt me.
So it starts off with a woman played by Jessie Buckley who finds a quiet country cottage to stay at alone so she can emotionally process the suicide of her husband. He was controlling and threatened suicide to manipulate her into staying into the marriage because he didn't want a divorce. In a flashback, we see he hits her, and when she says the marriage is over, he jumps out of the window, falling on the sharp iron fence in a grotesque way.
Jesus.
You're
Kinda
gonna
like
want to remember how he falls, like what he looks like when they show him after he falls. It goes, later into the movie.
It's foreshadowing.
It's relevant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not foreshadowing. It's
Um,
definitely relevant. Yeah.
So as she is processing her trauma, she encounters several strange men who are all played by one actor, Rory Kinnear, with effects to make him look a little bit different for each persona. One is the man she rents the cottage from who asks her weird questions and makes her feel uncomfortable. Another is the teenage boy filled with aggression. Next, she meets him in the form of a priest who, instead of comforting her, makes her feel like her husband's death is all her fault. There is also a naked man that keeps following her around and popping up out of nowhere, making her afraid. She calls the police, who is also Rory Kinnear, but they release him almost immediately, so she doesn't feel safe. The movie's ending is where most of the folk horror and body horror really comes together in a bizarre, metaphorical way. The naked man becomes the green man, known in pagan folklore associated with nature, fertility, and rebirth.
You said the Green
and-
Man?
Yeah. Like the face
Green
with
Man.
the leaves coming
The
out.
leaves.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
the
all I
face
was
in the center.
picturing, was dude from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Green Man.
Not the Green Man suit.
Not that one.
Okay,
No,
not
no.
not that Green Man. Okay,
Yeah. No, the pagan folklore Green Man.
Charlie
Yeah.
Day, that's his name. Yep,
Yeah.
Green Man. He's also the Night Man.
And speaking of rebirth, you will certainly see some of that at the end of this film. It concludes in a very surreal direction that really escalates and then ends with the viewer wondering what the fuck just happened. You don't really get a full answer, but this movie has a lot of layers. It is not an easy movie to watch, but it is something you will never forget. I will let Rob talk a little while. I have some notes on it, like further on like what I thought of it and like what I thought some of the themes were and stuff. But go ahead, Rob.
Well, first off, the monster, the Green Man, I thought was
Mhm.
perfect. It was, well, being, I guess, kind of a pagan deity made physical manifestation. Its view on, I guess, how interpersonal relationships work was all fucked up, which explains all of her interactions in the town. The fact that the Green Man was basically the entire town, like I really enjoyed how it was done. As you said, the one
Yeah.
actor played like every single
All
role.
the character, yeah, all the
Yeah, it
male
was
characters.
wild. And how the movie, like, not the exact ending, but how it concludes is just so weird and jarring. Seeing the
Yes.
Green Man in just this form of life, death, and revival, just constantly going and going and going.
Mhm.
It's very disturbing. But it's not the most
Yeah.
disturbing thing in that movie. There's one scene where he's trying to get inside the house, the Green Man, or I guess at that point it might have been the Naked Man before the
Ugh.
full transition.
Oh yeah.
But he's reaching through the mail post slot
Mhm.
that a lot of doors used to have, and he's reaching and trying to grab at her, and she has
Yeah.
a kitchen knife and stabs up into the
Yes.
arm,
Oh
and he
yeah.
pulls his arm
Yes.
out of the mail slot, ripping his hand in two. And
Mhm.
it's so visceral. That's like the main thing that stuck with me from that movie is that one scene. Now the rest of it is all pretty good. The whole stalking of the Naked Man, following her around, just
Yeah.
the awkwardness of what happens, like her dealing with her trauma, that trauma showing back up. I thought it was just fun overall. Maybe not fun. It was a good movie overall. But yeah, a lot of weird scenes, a lot of disturbing scenes, but that one hand part, that
Yeah.
things shouldn't split like that. It's
Yeah. And then they do also at the beginning because that's like part of that part we were talking about earlier because that happens also at the beginning with the
with her
suicide.
husband, yeah.
Yeah.
And then seeing the Green Man in the same position, pretty much,
Yes.
is, made you think like how much of that was actually like happening because she was there, like.
Mhm.
What was it about her that pulled this out of the town or the Green Man himself? Yeah, it's, I don't know. I enjoyed it. I know a lot of people do not.
Yeah.
I've
I actually did. Yeah.
yeah, I've heard a lot of obscenities about that movie. Like, why the fuck did I
Obscenities.
watch it? I
Wow.
couldn't even
I mean,
finish it. I've heard like one person say they couldn't finish it. But yeah,
oh,
no, like it is
wow.
wildly. You're the only other person I know who's
Could they,
enjoyed it.
sorry, question. Could they not finish it because of that one part at the end? You know, the part with the rebirth and stuff?
I
Is
don't
it
know if
that
they
part
made it
that they
that
stopped
far.
on?
I just saw a Facebook post from someone that they didn't finish it,
Oh.
and it could
Hmm.
be because that's highly disturbing. I don't know. Yeah.
Oh, I was just wondering. It would be interesting to find out where they stopped. Well, this movie is highly controversial. Like I said, it's like a love it or hate it kind of film. I knew that like as soon as I started watching it, I was like, yeah, I can see where some people would probably hate this movie. Um, I didn't know they hated it so much though. So thank you for shedding light on that.
Obscenities, Jen, obscenities.
They hated it that much. Okay. I guess I like movies that everyone hates just about. But yeah, I think a lot of people are going to watch this movie and think that it's like bashing men. And I can totally see that point of view. I get it. But for me, when I was watching it, I was thinking more like it's like in the mind of this character. It's more like she's gone through this trauma. And it's this all these things that are happening are like the representations of this trauma and this guilt that she's feeling. Because her husband, who was very controlling and abusive, he was basically playing like a guilt trip kind of manipulation thing with her. And she's in her mind, she's kind of like facing those monsters or those men, those different personifications of her husband. So I thought that was very well done. It's a very like thought-provoking movie to me. It's like kind of a deep movie. Like I said, it has like a lot of layers. And I can also kind of relate to it. I'm not going to say too much about how I can relate to it, but I did have an ex-boyfriend who did threaten suicide if I did not stay with him. So I can relate
So if
to
you're
that.
listening, ex-boyfriend, don't do that shit. Otherwise you get talked about on the show. Fucking stupid.
I mean, I'm definitely not
She's
going to
not worth it, man. She's not worth it.
Wow. Okay.
That was, I don't know what that was.
Well,
what the fuck do you want me to tell him? Yes, she's worth it. Kill yourself. I'm trying to.
I don't think he did, just for the record, but yeah, he did do that. He like threatened to do that. And I did feel a lot of guilt, and I did check up on him afterwards. And anyway, it's a story that is not meant for a podcast.
Most of my experiences have been that I would think about killing myself if she didn't leave me. I've had a few of those. Like,
wow.
I can't be with that person forever. I will literally just rather be dead than stay with you.
So do you think maybe like some of those, maybe it was all in her mind? Like maybe those people weren't that character?
Could have been.
Yeah, exactly.
So her trauma, it was her trauma coming out in those characters.
That's what I think.
Yeah. And it was like her hallucinations, like the rebirth thing. And I remember
the movie starts with her going basically on a vacation to deal with her trauma.
Mm-hmm.
And
exactly,
everything that happens in the movie is her dealing with that specific trauma. And if you're just seeing it as a literal, this happens, well, yeah, she's dealing with the young boy. She's dealing with the priest. There's this weird dude who keeps getting naked. But each of them, whether it's in her head or is an actual happenstance, is a portion of her dealing with her trauma. So yeah, as you said, like it's a lot to that movie, and you can think about it and get a lot more out of it. Maybe that's why people I know didn't like it, is they didn't think about it. So Jake, I wouldn't recommend it for you, man.
Are you trying to say I can't think about things?
I just don't like to.
Well, I really like your point. Thank you for sharing your point of view, Jen, because I think that's really fascinating, because I think sometimes people don't get things because they haven't had this experience to get a movie that maybe this happened to somebody, and it's a way of them expressing their trauma on the screen.
Yes.
And then they are able to have it on a film and stuff like that. And maybe it does help other people when they think about it from these different points of views.
Yeah. I think for some people it might be triggering, as they say.
Yeah.
But for me personally, I actually like, I don't know if I should say like, I don't mind triggering kind of things, because for me it helps me. So when I hear people complain about, oh, that's triggering or whatever, it's like I don't quite get it.
I feel so triggered.
I'm not scared of stuff that is triggering. I think it helps me. It helps me process stuff that's happened to me.
That's very emotionally mature of you, Jen.
Thank you.
Yes. No, yeah, I agree with that. I think it's really good because, and I think movies and art should be a way of helping people with their trauma and their triggers or whatnot. I think, that's really interesting.
is it like a slow burning movie, or is that where
Um,
people might get lost in it?
It's pretty slow
what?
burning talking about it.
It's a
I would agree, but
Well, um, so much criticism. Oh no, it's gonna break me. So it was a little bit of a slow burn for like a little while. But that doesn't matter to me. Like I don't mind slow burns. I can. I mean, if it's worth it, and I think it was kind of worth it. It was for me.
It does.
so
take
the
it a
movie's
while to
called
ramp up.
Men,
And yeah.
plural, but there's just one dude that's in it playing
That
a
plays
bunch of men.
multiple
Is that it?
Yeah,
Not
kind of.
exactly.
Point. That's a good
Close
point.
to it. It's close to it.
I mean, because there's the husband, and the husband doesn't look anything like Rory Kinnear.
Well, what the fuck's the
and Roy
point of that,
Kinnear-
though? If she's dealing with her shit, shouldn't he look like the husband?
Yeah, but in her mind, she probably created this guy.
Yeah, but if it's good
Yeah,
from her
and
husband, why
she's-
doesn't he look like her fucking husband?
Well, here's something. Was
Oh, I
it
can't
was
answer
it
that.
everyone in the town? Was everyone in the town played by him?
Yes, it's
Yeah.
everyone in the town that's played by him.
Yeah.
Correct. Every
So,
man that's in town. We don't see a lot of women in
Are
the
we
town.
sure
We
that
only
it's
see,
one
like,
guy,
men.
or is it just like one of those towns
Oh,
where
no.
everybody's really in the
It
same
is.
like small part of the gene pool?
No, it's played by all played by the same actor.
Or is it 300 years
I
of
bet when
incest?
that guy got his paycheck, he was like, "Are you shitting me? I played 13 people."
Yeah.
I
Well,
wonder how,
there seems
James
to be enough
McAvoy
there.
felt being Split.
That's true. Which I enjoy his work on that, but I think there's enough meat on the bones where I'm intrigued to check it out to see. So
Your daughter said it's
I
a
mean,
hard
yeah,
pass.
yeah. Like,
Yeah.
like
Oh,
try
I
it.
didn't
see what you
know-
think.
first take was I hear men, and then my daughter says, "Don't watch it." I'm thinking, "Oh, this could be men," and I don't want to watch it. So
Well, like gay
Ah,
porn? What, you think your daughter's
Might
watching
be-
gay porn?
she's watched a lot of stuff, and a lot of
Might be
things
trying-
I can't.
She might be trying to warn you about the ending. Because the ending, I do feel that, especially, I'm sorry to say it, but especially for men, might be a little hard to handle.
Is there genital mutilation?
There's some genitals.
there's some genitals.
Mutilation. Is there genital
Mm.
mutilation?
I wouldn't exactly say mutilation.
Not
Okay, 'cause
mutilation.
I don't
That's
like
not the
genital
right word.
mutilation. Well, then it's fine.
Well,
I
now I
can
kind of
watch
really
it.
want to see it.
Well, yeah, because now they're almost dangling in front of us like you're pussy if you can't
Well,
handle it.
I would
If you
say
really
watch the
wanna
whole
see
thing
it-
too.
Yeah. If you
I'll
really
just watch
want to
the-
see it,
no, I'm just gonna
Liza,
watch the end. Fuck it.
then my job is done here because you really want to see it.
I really want to see the end just to be like,
I
I ain't
think
no
it should
pussy.
be our movie night.
I don't know about that.
I
don't-
can
I don't-
can
it's
drive
really-
by y'all's place and drop the movie off so you all can watch it.
Oh,
later
you
tonight.
own it.
Well, we're not watching it tonight. We both got to work in the morning.
Well, tomorrow.
And when you do swing by and drop it off, you could probably just fucking watch it with us since you love us so goddamn much. Anyway, moving on. Oh, I'm calling it. I feel like we.
You don't want to
Too
spend
many
another
men.
20 minutes
Too
on that
much
movie?
men.
I'm just
I
gonna
could
call this
spend
episode "We
A
Talk About
whole
Men."
hour just on that movie.
Yeah, let's not though. It's,
I
yeah,
could.
we're.
I'm just
we're-
saying.
we're-
Oh, maybe if
on.
more than two of us had seen it, we could.
Yeah. If I
Well,
was like in a
even if
film
I had
class
seen it,
or
I don't think I'd
something,
want to talk about
I
it.
would
for
do a
that long.
paper on this movie.
You should do a paper
Jen,
anyway.
you
Fuck
sold-
it. Don't ever
you
stop
sold
expanding
me,
your mind.
If you want to do a
Yeah.
paper, my mom's an English teacher. She'll read it. She would love to
Awesome.
read something like that.
I just say
Yeah.
write a paper anyway. Don't stop expanding your mind, Jen.
Thank you.
Mind is a terrible thing to waste. Steve, you got anything to get away from this, or? You want
Oh
me to-
man, well I've got a pretty weird movie that I watched. What was it? I guess it was the middle of last week. So, and I've watched a few things since then. And if I'm not into something, my brain, I think it's work related, but I like expel stuff out of my head if I don't like it. Like I'll barely remember
Wait.
the name of the movie or
Wait.
who's in it.
Is it like the Late Night with the Devil when the head like opens up? Is it like that?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, I turned into a green guy with like leaves and stuff.
Green Man. Yeah.
That's right.
Like Charlie Day.
The movie was called Await Further Instructions. You guys heard about that?
Nope.
Nope.
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've seen it.
People have said that
It's-
to me before.
Yeah. Well, this
Await
movie, will piss you off. At least it made me more mad than it did give entertainment. I was pissed in this movie. Like I wanted to jump on set and start beating people.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sounds like a good one.
it was bad. So it takes place over a Christmas holiday, and there is a guy and his I think they're going to be married soon, so we'll say fiance. He's the young son. Then there is his older sister who's pregnant, and her husband, and then the mother and father. So they go to their house to spend the weekend and have Christmas dinner and everything. And there's this grouchy old grandfather that never gets out of the Barca lounger chair. Just got something stupid to say about everything. He does not like the ethnicity of his grandson's girl that he brought, and everybody is bashing on her. Pretty good shape.
Sounds pretty racist.
It is very racist. And so what happens is somewhere in the first 20, 30 minutes of the movie, they get locked down into the house. And so there's like this, almost like I don't even know. It reminds me of like, I don't even know what you'd call it. Let's just say it's a bunch of dreadlocks covering the house up, like these metal dreadlocks, like these wiry cords that cover the entire house up, and the TV comes on, and the TV is giving them instructions about what to do, and so people are thinking that there's a potential issue outside. Maybe there is a pandemic or something going on. There was a brief newsreel about people being sick, like down at the mall or something, and getting sick. And so the father, it goes just stupid and follows every single thing. So down the chimney comes a bunch of vials to inject themselves with like this antivirus, and he's forcing everybody to take it. And his father ends up dying from it, like vomiting all over himself and dying. And that was kind
So
of
it's
the
like a
beginning.
metaphor, and this guy is like the government during COVID.
Pretty much. It was
Okay.
very similar to.
What year was this done?
Oh God, it's pretty recent. It's after COVID, definitely
Okay.
after COVID.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
So yeah, the one guy, kind of the jockish half brother or step brother, I should say, brother-in-law. Let me get my friggin' facts straight. Brother-in-law with the pregnant wife is trying to. They open the door, and he's trying to like shove his fingers through the wires, and they end up cutting his hand in half. So you're definitely not trying to get out. And then the windows are all barred up practically, and there's these little hoses with like gas. And long story short, the movie is so dumb, but it's some sort of like alien entity that is trying to get them to worship it, really. And there's like a heart beating inside of the TV and everything else. It's so hard to explain. It's very weird. Everybody dies in it, and
It sounds
terrible. It's bad. But there
Sounds
was
like
some brutal kills in
Killer
it.
Clowns from Mars. Aliens come
What's
down
that?
and weird shit happens. It sounds like a
Yeah.
cousin of the Killer Clowns from Mars.
Yeah, there was some horrific things that happened that were induced by the father losing his mind and just like going off on this is the A to Z way of surviving through this and listening to what the government has to say, and they all end up dying from it. Yeah,
Or
Well,
what
it was
TV has
freaky.
to say.
I did
Yeah.
look it up, and it does say it was made in 2018, so it was pre-pandemic.
Really?
What the
Really?
fuck?
It was
Now
like the
that's
fucking
strange because-
Simpsons.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what,
Shit.
that was I never would have guessed based off of how close
Yeah.
a lot of these things ran in tandem with what we dealt with.
Was it written by
Uh,
Matt Groening?
It was
No.
not.
Okay.
but-
Gavin Williams and Johnny Kevorkian was the director.
Kevorkian.
Kevorkian.
Yeah.
That's right. Maybe that's why there were so many
Oh.
deaths in the movie.
Any relation to Jack?
That
But,
would be
I mean,
funny.
Jack
Was-
Kevorkian was and he used to inject people to kill him, right?
Yeah, he'd help
Yeah.
people die. Yeah.
Angel
Yeah,
of
he
Death
was
or whatever.
euthanasia.
He's an Asian?
Yeah.
You say he's an Asian? What the fuck does that have to do with anything?
Euthanasia.
Oh.
What does the euthanasia have to do with us in this country right now? Huh? Nothing.
Jack
The one thing I
Kevorkian,
will
man.
say about that movie though is like Jen's made a point of stating in the past, this whole campy hang out with a friend and watch a movie makes it better.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a lot to make fun of, and there's I mean,
Oh.
I watched it laughing half the time. If I
Really?
wasn't
Probably.
pissed and angry, I was laughing about why something went down the way that it did. So
That shit probably makes you
Oh.
wish you had a friend, huh, Steve?
I know.
Oh.
Well, I have a lot of Asian youth.
You really can't hear
I
Well,
can't.
who?
you.
Me?
Yeah,
You
you
said
look
fucking he's Asian, and he's not Asian.
not.
It's not Kevorkian.
No.
Kevorkian is not an Asian name.
I'm Caucasian.
Awkward
I think we know
silence.
this.
Mm.
That's right.
Really like your shirt, Rob. Just want to
Try
say
to-
that.
Try to be
Yeah.
festive for the
I got a
podcast.
fun little game to break up the movies that we're just not happy with.
Yeah, because I feel like I just vomited a bunch of BS about a movie that I just didn't give a shit about. So
Yeah, we just talked about a few movies in a row that don't sound very happy, even though horror's not happy, but I mean, it's usually kind of somewhat. All right, so I got a game for you. I'm going to name an actor or actress, and I want you to tell me these are all actors and actresses that first appeared in horror movies. I want to see if you can tell me what horror movie they were in. Some of these are a lot easier than others. But, so here we go. Jennifer Aniston.
Leprechaun.
Oh, Leprechaun.
You looking over my shoulder?
No,
I like
I didn't. I didn't see it.
I like
I
we
did.
said that at the same time.
Okay, Johnny Depp.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon.
Friday the 13th.
George Clooney.
Oh shit.
Strangers? I don't know. I have no idea. I'm just
I don't know.
He was in 2 when he was much younger and when he was starting out. One of them
He was
was
in what?
Attack of the Killer
Oh.
Tomatoes,
Oh my god.
and the other one was
I have seen
Return to
that.
Horror High.
I don't think I've seen that.
no, I haven't seen that one either.
Either one of you guys know what Leo was first in?
Leonardo DiCaprio.
Mm-hmm.
What's he doing?
Basketball
Gilbert Grape?
Diaries.
Person.
No,
Yeah.
he's starting off in his career horror-wise.
Basketball
horror.
Diaries.
Is that a fucking horror movie?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never seen it.
I don't know.
We're gonna have to start calling this show movies Jake hasn't
nobody,
seen.
I
You don't have
can't
it,
remember.
nobody.
He's doing, man. Just say it. Just say it.
Matching the
Come on.
gas tank. Boom, boom. That's where we'll leave it.
Match in the gas tank.
Boom,
This
boom.
must
Was
be a
eating Gilbert
clue.
Grape.
That's
You're
Gilbert
referring to-
Grape.
If you're referring to Critters 3, then you're correct.
I'm referring to
Oh,
Arnie, who did this the
Critters.
whole goddamn
Fucking, it
movie.
wasn't that. It was
Oh.
Critters fucking 3.
Critters 3. Okay.
Okay, so this is a really good
Three
one.
what?
It's a really good one. Tom Hanks.
Oh, Gremlins or something.
No.
No.
Oh.
And it wasn't my
Well, he
favorite
was-
movie, The Burbs. He was older in that one,
He
not
was-
like old
he
like
was
he is
in-
now. But
He was in Gods and Monsters? That was a D&D thing.
I'm pretty sure.
No.
Does that count?
No.
Oh.
Early in his career, he was in a movie called He Knows You're Alone.
I haven't seen that.
Oh, I figured you would have. You've always seen the weird, obscure, like older
Monst-
movies.
Monsters and Mazes. That was the one he was in that I was thinking of. Not Gods and Monsters. Monsters and Mazes, I think.
What the fuck?
But
is
that
going
was
on
that
with
was
that?
probably his second movie that was horror or something.
Robert just left.
Yeah, Robert left. That's weird. Anyway, here's a twofer: Renee Zellweger and Matthew McConaughey.
Texas.
Oh,
Chainsaw.
Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Yeah.
Which one?
3? I don't
Next
know.
Generation. You're right.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay, this one obviously Jen's gonna get this. Julia Louis Dreyfus.
Oh, Troll.
Okay.
Yeah,
How
definitely
about
got that.
how about
There we go.
Patricia Arquette?
Who? Patricia. Oh,
Patricia
Oh,
Arquette.
Nightmare on Elm Street Part 3.
Wow, that's good. Dream Warriors. You're right.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Paul Rudd?
Oh, Friday the 13th Part 4, 5. One of the later ones.
No, he was in Halloween 6, and that was made the same year as
Halloween.
Clueless.
Oh, that's right. It was Halloween. Sorry.
So he was in Clueless and Halloween 6 in the same year.
Halloween 6.
How about Adam Scott? Anybody got Adam Scott?
Is that right?
No, that's not a fucking horror.
I'm trying to remember who he is. I know him. Nah, I
Okay.
give up.
Adam Scott was in a movie called Torque, and he was also in Hellraiser Bloodline.
Never saw Torque.
And the last one I have on the list is Charlize Theron, as
Monster.
Jen says it.
Oh. He was in a horror movie?
Oh,
I guess Monster's not really that horror movie.
no. Trying to think. Oh.
Hmm.
I'm a pass. I don't know.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know.
That one would be Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest.
Oh, okay.
Children of the Corn 3, Urban Harvest. I think Jen won that one, guys.
She did, and I wonder if we recorded any of that. Did we?
Oh, did we not?
Is it not recording?
It was choppy, but
What the fuck just happened? It stopped recording?
There's nothing up top. I got kicked. I don't know.
So when did it stop, Steve?
Right when we kicked to 3 people and back,
oh,
Really?
and then I texted Liza, then I called Liza, and then I sent a
Oh, you did.
MoneyGram to Liza, which should be coming soon, and that's wrapped up with a note that says, "Are we recording?"
We just played a really interesting game of who was in a horror movie early in their career. And if you can hear me, because now the stuff's all coming up, something's happening with the stuff. Technical difficulties and whatnot.
technical difficulties.
I'm gonna have to look at this and see if y'all can hear me even now. But that was a really fun game. Not something you can really recreate.
Yeah.
No, it was good. I'm glad I got every one of them correct, while Jen had no idea about any of the answers.
If
It was
anybody
really
wants to know
cool.
what Steve's talking about, Jen actually won. She had the most.
You did really good.
If you
Leaps
want
You
and
knew
to,
like the
strides.
threes.
One
You should-
by leaps and strides.
you should look at some point in time and see some of the famous actors that were first in horror movies, because it's pretty interesting.
Hmm.
Yup, that whole thing was ruined.
It's okay.
I was looking up there going, "We're not recording right now."
Why didn't you say
no.
stop?
Well, because Jen was on a tear. She was like
Yeah.
coming around the quarter mile.
Yeah, she
and
did
get
awesome.
ready to-
She did awesome for our whole fucking audience that was watching.
I
Yeah.
know.
As usual.
I was hoping
it's
that
all
we
my
were
fault.
know.
recording.
We know, Jen.
The greatest moment of
That's right.
Jen's
Yeah.
life, and it wasn't even fucking
Oh,
recording.
wow.
I know.
Fuck.
Well, at least the people here in the actual podcast know that Jen's the goat.
Well, that's great. Because
Thanks.
it's not like we're putting on a show. We could just fucking hang out and like Jen.
Well, our viewers and listeners just need to trust us on that.
All right.
Yeah.
So another thing I was going to talk about was I'm a huge fan of. I love when horror movies kind of have unexpected big actors in it. I don't know, that kind of. I watch a lot of movies because of the actors that are in it. The ones we just went over that the audience didn't hear. I mean, they were early in their career, so that really doesn't count because their acting skills weren't exactly on par back then. But yeah, I was just kind of thinking about that because I was like reminiscing about things I love about horror movies. And some of my favorite horror movies, it's these big actors popped in, and it was like De Niro in Hide and Seek, Harrison Ford in What Lies Beneath, Kevin Bacon in Stir of Echoes, Hollow Man in the Darkness, Kevin Costner in The New Daughter. Has anybody seen Kevin Costner in The New Daughter?
No, I have not.
It's actually
No.
a really interesting movie. I like Kevin Costner, and I don't know. I thought it was a pretty interesting movie. I'm not going to sit here and say it was like a must see, but I really liked it. It was a must see for me. I'm glad I saw it.
Hide
I'm
and
just trying
Seek, was that Dakota Fanning
yeah.
when she was a
That
little
was-
kid? That was one of those movies that was there was nothing to it as far as like scares, but yet it still had something there. Like
Yeah.
it was still entertaining to me, although there was not a whole lot there to scare you. It still was an entertaining movie.
I mean, I'm going to be honest with you, and you may or may not agree with me, but I think that some of these movies, it's like when you have an incredibly fucking talented actor, it's like sometimes you don't even need the extras or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, Robert De Niro is obviously a fantastic actor, and I mean, I think he did a phenomenal job in that movie. And even Dakota Fanning, when she was younger, was pretty good. I mean, she was a lot better than Kristen Stewart ever will be. You
Or what
know,
about Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense?
Bruce Willis in The Sixth Sense. That was another really good one. He's is that the only horror movie Bruce Willis has ever been in?
I don't know.
Like maybe the last 15 to 20 that he did were pretty horrible.
No,
Yeah, but-
horror, not horrible.
Nobody will ever
Horror.
take
I
nobody
gotcha.
will ever take the trophy away from bad decisions to be in movies over Nicolas Cage. Nicolas Cage
That's
forever
true.
has the title of I can be in the most movies that are bad.
But
Although I wonder if
that's
Steven
part of the
Seagal,
movie.
he and
Yeah.
Steven Seagal probably are like fighting each other for the most movies that are like D minus.
Yeah, but I'm
But
hoping
Steven
Nicolas
Seagal
Cage is
sucks.
yeah, I'm hoping Nicolas Cage actually like knows though that him being in a movie doesn't make it great. I'm pretty sure Steven Seagal probably thinks everything he does is great.
I would say the same about Nicolas Cage. I
Really?
don't think his shit stinks. I mean,
But
he
he's in
takes
some good movies, though.
that's
He's in some
that's
good
the crazy
movies.
thing about it. Like he's been in some really good movies and he's been in some absolute dumpster fire movies, and
Yeah.
it doesn't matter to him. So I don't know how you're not like a trillionaire after being in so many movies, unless he's literally taken like table
Well, he went-
scraps to.
well, he
He's
went
gonna
broke.
buy more dinosaur bones for his house. That dude.
went broke.
Like the
Yeah.
craziest. He buys the craziest things.
He's like an eccentric weirdo. I actually watched a
Yeah.
thing on him where they were talking about how he basically went fucking broke. So he just started accepting any movie he possibly could to try to get out of the hole.
So what was Nick Cage's first horror movie then?
Nick Cage.
Ooh,
fuck,
his first one, Raising
first-
Arizona.
Is he an
maybe?
8mm?
That's not.
Raising Arizona's the first
I
one I
would-
remember.
Well, Raising Arizona.
Oh, Valley Girl. Valley
Wait,
Girl.
Did he say horror movie or just movie?
Yeah, no horror movie.
Horror.
Oh well, shit. That's
Which
none
I
of
would
those.
say 8mm.
Vampire's Kiss, maybe. Vampire's Kiss, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know.
That
That's
was
worth
pretty
me taking a
early.
peek.
That was pretty
I'm
early.
intrigued.
Vampire's Kiss.
Well, as you're
Does
doing
anybody
that,
remember Vampire's Kiss?
I actually
No.
have not seen that one.
Oh
as,
man!
as the Nicolas Cage fan.
If you like Nicolas Cage going over the top, then you need to see Vampire's Kiss.
does he ever go under the
Always-
top?
He always does.
No, not really.
I don't think he knows how to go under the top.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I was
Um,
thinking Richard Gere and Mothman, Colin Farrell, Fright Night, Ethan Hawke, Sinister, and Black Phone. Ethan Hawke is the shit. One of my favorite recent kind of big names that I really enjoy stepping in a movie was John Lithgow in Pet Cemetery remake.
Oh yeah.
I love John Lithgow.
He was
Yes.
perfect as the neighbor, like perfect. John Cusack, 1408, of course, an amazing movie. Another
Oh,
Stephen
yeah.
King. And Robin Williams in Insomnia. I don't know if anybody remembers that, but Robin Williams was like the bad guy in Insomnia.
Wasn't
didn't
Robert
see
De
that.
Niro in that?
No, it was Al Pacino.
Al Pacino.
And it was more of a suspense thriller than a horror, but I mean, I also think those lines are kind of, blurry. So,
What about Mickey Rourke and Angel Heart?
yeah, Mickey Rourke is another one of those guys where he's just not that great of an actor. He was great.
Angel
in
Heart was good.
He was
though.
good in The Wrestler, but I think that movie was
The
made for
Wrestler
him.
was his number one movie. I
Yeah,
think.
Wrestler was like
Sure.
phenomenal. Everything else he's been in, I wasn't impressed.
He did all right, albeit a kind of dumbed down role in the Iron Man movie, where he was that guy
He
with
played
the
Whiplash.
whatever the
funny
hell
'cause-
character he was.
Funny because if you look that up, like most fans think that was like the worst role fucking ever. I read that.
I think they're just
I don't know,
upset with the movie.
But I read it on
Yeah,
the
I mean,
internet.
But I think he did a
The
good
movie
job.
was-
for what he was.
Yeah, I do too. I thought he did a really good job, although the movie was just kind of lackluster. I mean,
Better than the third one.
Most of the Marvel movies can kiss my ass, except for Guardian. and Thor.
I love me some Guardians.
Thor Ragnarok was probably the best Marvel movie. But anyway, that's not important right now.
It was 99.
Michael Rooker and
Already,
Y'all haven't even seen Doctor Strange, the horror Marvel movie?
You love Michael Rooker. You need to watch Slither.
Yes. Slither is fantastic.
I've seen a lot. Oh, okay.
Have you
I'll
seen
have to-
Slither?
I've
Because
seen almost every one of his
that
movies,
is
but I don't
definitely
think
Michael
I have-
Rooker in a totally different kind of way, right,
Okay.
Rob?
Oh yeah. It's very unique.
It's interesting. And we also had the moving steak again, Jen.
Yeah.
Attack of the
I like
fucking
that.
Attack of the Killer Porterhouse.
Hey.
Hey, you want to pass me a little bit of that possum? It's just right over there. I can't get to it. I'm so goddamn hungry. Yeah, that movie's fantastic. You should watch it.
It's pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. Steve, did you
I've
figure out
seen-
your thing?
Oh yeah.
I did. It was called Vampire's Kiss,
Oh,
1988.
That's
Vampire's
good.
Kiss.
That's what I
Oh,
fucking said.
yeah,
Yeah, I thought
Vampire's
you were being
Kiss.
funny.
Once again,
I
Hey,
win,
Jen,
I
Flash.
win
She's the goat.
again. I win
I feel like
again.
I feel like I've heard of that movie somewhere.
Yeah, from me.
I don't.
Yeah, I
know.
just said it.
Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
No,
Thank
I-
you, Steve.
That might be it. And I was
Rob,
looking. It says that he
actually,
was
Rob,
in.
need to watch that.
yeah, apparently I do. Yeah,
Yeah.
write it down, put it on my list.
I still need to watch Renfield. Still haven't done that yet.
Oh, Lordy.
That was okay.
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good.
Well, good.
It
Let's
was-
talk about
oh,
it next
My
time.
favorite
It
movie.
was
I see
mediocre.
it. Give me a reason to say
Surprisingly.
what? You're the
Yeah.
fucking
Can we
Nick
also-
Cage guy.
Did you say
Yeah,
you were
I'm also a huge Nicholas Holt fan, and that movie didn't hit it for me.
Nicholas
Oh,
Holt?
yeah. Holt.
Yeah. He plays the role of
Where-
Renfield.
Where the
Yes.
fuck,
Oh yeah. I can't
I
see
thought-
that
yeah.
kid in
I thought
anything other than
Renfield-
playing that dumb beast in X-Men.
Oh, he was fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It was,
Oh,
it
I
was
thought
good.
Renfield was more
I
of
know
an
who you're
action
talking
movie
about
almost,
now.
Who?
especially
Beast
for
and
the-
X-Men. Okay.
It is
Yeah.
it is more of an action movie. It's like an action comedy
Mhm. Yes, that.
with
I don't
with
know.
just a bunch of blood and guts. But I mean,
Yeah.
it's
I didn't
entertaining.
mind that.
I don't know how the fuck this thing is going to come together, but it is about time for the recommendations. Recommendations.
I just want to say real quick that maybe next time we can talk about The Passenger because I've been wanting to talk about The Passenger for like ever.
Oh Jesus,
Oh, is that the one with Jennifer?
that's Iggy Pop, the passenger.
Nope.
Oh.
Oh, by the way, when I'm talking about The Passenger, I'm talking about the 2023 Passenger, not the 1975 or whatever. No,
Who's in
it's a totally different movie. Totally different movie. The Passenger, yeah.
Who's in that?
Kyle Gallner, who was in Smile. He was
I love
the
her. That's a good movie.
guy in Smile. Yeah.
I want to see Smile.
I just recently saw that actually, like about a month ago. And
Fuck, I
I
think I-
actually thought it was pretty good.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, that looks so creepy.
I think I have it, but I
Yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Well, I want to see it.
Oh no, wait, I did see that. That's where the bitch is head upside down.
Yeah. They smile. They
What?
smile.
Yeah, the bitch is smiling with her head upside down, right?
I don't remember
All right,
an
don't-
upside down
Don't
part.
don't all dump at once. I'm pretty sure the bitch's head turns. She's at the car. You seen it?
Normally, it's
anybody?
don't turn that frown upside down, but turn that smile upside down. Oh. No, you're.
No.
I know what you're talking about, Jake. I think you're talking about the same movie.
Thank you for Christ's
It was
sakes.
in the trailers, that scene.
Oh. I must have forgotten that part.
Dude, I forgot. All right. I just completely forgot about a movie I just watched like no more than a month ago. Tells you how good it was.
What movie?
Was it Smile?
No, it was. See, I've already forgotten about it. No,
That-
Dream Scenario.
Yeah.
I'll start.
Never heard of it.
Nick Cage, Dream Scenario. And have you guys heard of that movie?
Yeah, I've seen it.
You did? Well,
Yeah.
then Rob knows. I mean, it's watchable.
Of course, Rob
It-
knows.
It's watchable.
It's it was interesting. Nick Cage,
review.
if he was ever in any of his past movies a sex symbol, he is not in this one.
Is that guy
Guy
with a
looks-
sex symbol?
He used to be.
Sure. Be.
Yeah, like
Maybe in
Con
Leaving Las
Air
Vegas.
time frame.
Maybe in Face Off when he was John Travolta.
Yeah.
Kind of hot in Leaving
Back
Las
in
Vegas.
back in the early mid '90s, I think he was considered a sex symbol, but I always thought he was a
Yeah.
goofy looking.
He's a
SOB.
goofy looking motherfucker, not in a good way like Steve Buscemi.
That's true.
All right.
Steve Buscemi's pain.
Well, a lot of people
So-
don't. That's the thing that's weird about him.
In this movie, he is, if I remember correctly, he's like a professor at a
Yeah.
college.
He's
And,
older, 50 or so, balding.
He's got to be late 50s, maybe early 60s.
Yeah.
I mean, he's
sounds right.
definitely he's playing his age, but he looks like Friar Tuck.
Oh no.
Good way to put it.
Yeah. So he is somebody who doesn't have much to show for his life. He appears to be happy, but is very much a vanilla person. And out of the blue, without any warning, people are starting to have dreams about him all over the world, including in his class. And they are originally dreams about all sorts of different things, some of which where he's just a person in the background as something's going on. Others are sexual fantasies with certain female students of his that it's pretty wild. And there's enough to it where it is entertaining. Where it goes wrong, and at that point where everybody's dreaming about him and nobody knows why, he's kind of getting a big head over this, getting excited and happy that people know him and that he's become something without any real effort behind it. But
Well, as you
things
said, he
turned
was
for the
vanilla,
worst.
and
Yeah.
this is one up and coming. He tried to finish like a kind of a thesis or something that kind of fell apart, and then someone steals it from him, and it shows like he just has nothing to vouch for his life. So this is something, and he's just jumping on it 100%, going on
Right.
the news.
Like Nicolas Cage does with all his bad movies.
We generally keep the recommendations a little short because that's why they're the recommendations and not movies we're discussing fully.
Gotcha. So let me finish it up then.
Yeah, please.
Everybody's dreams go from like cool dreams to murderous, rampaging, disgusting death dreams, to where everybody sees him on the street and he is the personification of everybody's nightmare.
Oh
So
my
he
God.
goes,
That sounds
yeah, he goes
crazy.
from on top of the hill to in the gutter real quick.
That sounds interesting, though.
Yeah, it is.
So you said it wasn't good?
I can't talk anymore on it. My time's up.
Well, I mean, we are coming to the end here, and generally we're just kind of give a little short synopsis to like tease somebody in. So, just saying.
Surgeon General says keep it short.
Gotcha.
I mean, the guy watching the time says keep it short.
Yeah.
I would quote Steve from earlier when he said that we need to keep it shorter, but
There you go.
I'm going to go ahead and recommend a show this time. I recently watched Baby Reindeer. Has anybody heard of that?
I saw that.
I've heard of
Baby
it.
Reindeer. Yeah.
It's
Oh,
come
you did
across.
see it.
Yeah,
I saw it.
I have not
Yeah.
watched it yet, but a lot of people say good things.
I think I think you should maybe watch it. I thought it was very interesting. It's definitely like a stalker kind of show. Don't get mad, Jake. This came out after came out after the stalker episode we did.
motherfucker.
Okay. So I already knew where he was going with that. But yeah, I definitely think it's worth a watch. It's very interesting. It has some emotional moments in it too. But it's a very interesting character study, and there's like some, I don't know, some psychological type things going on there as well. And that's my short review.
Did Rob recommend one?
Not yet. So I have a movie here, and Steve actually recommended me a band called Four Stroke Baron, and I watched some of their music videos, and they have one that is a fantastic piece of claymation.
Ooh, I love it already.
And so I was thinking of a claymation movie that is a horror movie called Mad
Man,
God.
I love that. Sorry.
This movie took about 30 years to make because it's all stop motion.
Mhm.
It is so cerebral and just obscure
Yeah.
and crazy and fun.
And silent.
It is
There's no dialogue in that.
so crazy. It's wild. It is one of the weirdest movies, and I love it endlessly. And I definitely recommend it to anybody.
Yeah.
It's a work of art. It took literally 30 years to make that movie. I've never seen stop motion claymation as good as that.
Mm.
Excellent.
I
Liza?
agree with that recommendation.
I have a recommendation, but I'm just gonna tell you what it is. Because I do kind of want to do a video or something on this, but it is the show From. It's so good, and one of my kittens is named after one of the characters, Ellis Lynn. But it is such a good show.
Shout out to Ellis Lynn.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ellis Lynn, my kitten. But it is such a good show. It is such a good show.
What is the show called again?
From.
It's on AMC.
Yeah, but you have to. It's like
And
you
that's
can
why I
get like
haven't seen it.
a free. You can get a free subscription to it just to watch this show because it is so good. One of the guys from. Okay, yeah, it's good. You gotta watch it.
I thought you were just going to say the name.
Oh, From.
My recommendation is Violation. All right, so moving on. I guess it's time for a quote. It wasn't the airplanes; it was beauty killed the beast. On that note, tonight we discussed a lot of things, including how much Steve hates when things suddenly end. So